Hi guys, my name's Rachael and welcome to my journey. I've decided to do this vlog because I got diagnosed with a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's a rare connective tissue disorder. It doesn't affect many people. It's actually quite underdiagnosed, but there's not a lot of information out there. There's not a lot of treatment options out there, and it's a lifelong condition. I will never get better. I may plateau, but I will never get better. So how did I get diagnosed? Well, my cardiologist is the one that actually diagnosed me. She was reviewing me for other issues that I've been suffering the last couple of years, and I'd made passing mention that I was in a bit of pain. I'd hurt my back the day before, doing something very mundane, just twisting funny. And she's like, oh, have you suffered back pain before? I've gone, well, a few times, like nothing to this extent, but yes, I've had, a bad back for a while. And she decided to go through all of my injuries, I guess, as from, very little child up until now. And, how many sprains have I had? How many dislocations have I had? Have I had any surgery before? How was my healing process with the surgery? All those sort of things. And as we went through the list, she started ticking all these boxes, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, well, I'm going through the list for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Have you heard of it? I'm like, no, I haven't. What is it? She goes, well, a lot of people just believe it's double jointedness or hyperflexibility, but it's more than that. She goes, it's a tissue disorder where your tissues don't produce the proteins for the collagens properly, and they can't produce the connective fields that they require. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, by the end of the conversation, she's like, Rach, you've definitely got this condition. You've ticked all the boxes and then some. There is no genetic testing for this specific one. There is several other subcategories that we have, found the genes for, and we can test for them, but your specific subcategory doesn't have a test just yet. And I was like, okay, that's fine, and I wasn't too concerned about it until I started researching what it was. Dr. Google, very dangerous. So I looked up what EDS was, and it's a little bit frightening to find out that your body's breaking down around you, and there's nothing we can do. So we've got band-aid solutions, we've got band-aid fixes, but we don't have a cure. So EDS is essentially, your molecule, your proteins that build your collagen, which produce your joints and produce the cartilage and produce your ligaments and your tendons and your muscle walls and your vessel walls and all these other things. Mine's not being produced. So what little I have is breaking down. So I ended up going to my GP and getting ACT done on my back because it was quite bad. And I had mentioned to him that, my cardiologist had diagnosed me with EDS, and he even said, oh, that's just, you're super flexible, like that's nothing to worry about. But when the CT results came in, he was shocked. He called me in and said, what have you done? You have so much damage to your lower spine. It's like your lower vertebrae are actually squeezing your spinal cord, which would explain why you can't feel your feet properly. It would explain why you're having all these other problems with sensation and movement and, just the pain that you're feeling. I've gone, oh, okay. What do we do about it? What can we do? Like, is there a fix? He goes, we can't fix this. He goes, I'll give you some steroids. You can take these steroids for 5 days. Here's some pain relief. I want you to get some cortisone injections in your spine, and you need to book a physio assessment with me and the physio next week. I'm like, all right, let's do that. So that's what I've done. Today is my second cortisone injection, and next week I have my physio referral with him present. But since then I haven't been able to work. I'm not allowed to stand for too long, sit for too long. I'm not allowed to twist, bend, push, pull. As a nurse, we do all of those things. As a mum, we do all of those things. So the last couple of weeks has been quite, how to put it, lonely and depressing, and I feel utterly useless at most points. But I've decided to create this journey so other people who are newly diagnosed, been diagnosed for years, think they may have it, can follow along and see, the ups and the downs and the ins and outs of what I've decided to do with my journey. So everyone's journey is different. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in this area at all. I don't know anything about EDS except for what I've read on the internet, and there's not a great deal there anyway. I have read that cortisone injections are contraindicated, but for the pain that I'm in right now, having one course of them I don't think is going to really cause a huge problem later down the track. So where do we go from here? Well, I've had to make quite a lot of lifestyle changes in the past couple of weeks. I've had to reevaluate what I'm going to be doing for work. I'm currently trying to get into the National Nurse On-Call triage system, which I can do from home, which means I don't have to be standing for too long, I don't have to be pushing beds, but I'm still in the field where I want to be. I took a long time to get my nursing degree, and I don't particularly just want to throw it out the window. And I don't want to be sitting on my ass doing nothing. I'm a very positive and active person. I like to be busy, and the last 3 weeks I literally haven't done anything, and it is playing on my mental health. So I want to be able to provide an avenue for people to follow along, maybe gain some understanding of chronic conditions, and I want people to see that just because you have a chronic condition doesn't mean you need pity, or you want pity. Doesn't mean you can't do anything. It means that together we can try and make a difference. I've created a EDS support group for Australia on Facebook, so I'll put the link down below so you can follow along if you want. I've already put up some surveys that Charles Sturt University has put up for EDS research and support. So I find if the more people that the more people that actively join into these things, the better we will be down in the future. So it might not affect our generation, but it might affect children or grandchildren of us who suffer from this condition. There's not a lot of funding. I don't believe it's on the NDIS at the moment either. So if I can't return to work because I can't do my job, I won't have an income. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll find something. So we need to band together and try and sort this out in order to find out more information, get more research done. We need to have people understand that, yes, I'm 32 and I'm hobbling around like an 80-year-old. Don't judge me. Like, you don't know. You don't understand. You can still be young and have a disability. You can have a disability and still live a full life. So this is what this video log is about. I wanted to produce a more positive basically a more positive vibe, I guess, regarding this diagnosis. I did have my sad day, or my sad week. I took a long time to process what I needed to do, but I've got the support of my fiance and my family and my friends, and I believe that that's all I need in order to be able to move forward from here. So if you want to follow along, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Join the Facebook group, join in the conversation. If you think you may have EDS, bring it up with your GP. Get GPs knowing what EDS is. It is so much more than being super flexible. It is so much more than being hypermobile. So the more that people know about it, the easier it is for us to get what we need to live our full lives. So thanks for coming and listening and joining in. Join in the conversation down below. If you have any hints about how to help with pain, help with, everyday life, any shoes that you would recommend for somebody who can't tie up her shoelaces, like me, put them down below. Let me know so I can find out for you guys and share it with everyone else. Bye.